The mainstream video game industry is imploding internally. Developers are melting down over consumer backlash. The media is unsure how to get viewership back. And now we're finding out that Kotaku's editor-in-chief has had a massive meltdown on social media along with other Kotaku employees, and they have actually exited due to their parent company's new guide directive. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, obviously, hearing that Kotaku is collapsing is a positive thing. I personally have not trusted Kotaku in years. I do not actively go to their website when I need to look up a guide or I'm looking for information. They just are the bottom of the barrel when it comes to video game journalism, but they're not alone. I mean, they definitely are the worst, but you also have other ones like The Gamer and Polygon, which are just as bad. But now we're finding out that Jen Glennon has resigned after only 5 months into her role, while the publication deprioritizes news. And this is what is shocking, is that yes, she hasn't been the editor-in-chief for very long. Back in August of 2023, Geo Media actually fired the editor-in-chief, Patricia Hernandez, and apparently she was not happy. It sounds like Jen is not happy. Not that I really feel all that bad for them, but it says Kotaku editor-in-chief Jen Glennon has exited her role reportedly due to a new editorial director from Geo Media, according to Aftermath, which, by the way, Aftermath is another Kotaku-esque site ran by ex-Kotaku employees, so I don't read them either. Per Glennon's letter of resignation, the parent company Geo Media mandated that the game's publication focus on game guides and deprioritize news. Now, obviously, covering the news is all they want to do because they don't actually want to have to play the video games. They don't want to have to research video games. They aren't gamers. We have been saying this for years at this point, ever since, of course, the days of Gamergate 1. Gamergate 1 was about ethics and journalism, and I know right now everybody's talking about Gamergate 2, but we simply wanted the media to do better and be better, and then, of course, those individuals who were called out spun it and called it a harassment campaign, which was ridiculous, but even now, they don't want to do what game journalists should be doing. Geo Media, who also recently cut Deadspin, is saying too much of what's being written is political, and that's what she wants to write. She doesn't want to write about video games. She wants to push initiatives clearly, or else why would you be against producing more gaming content? She is trying to push the narrative in her statement. Oh, it doesn't make sense because traffic is generated by the news articles, and yeah, if you write divisive stuff, people are gonna click it because it's drama. That always sells, but ultimately, Geo Media doesn't want that drama. They do not constantly want to be embroiled in controversy, and in the wake of everything going on in the media over Sweet Baby Inc., it's like they're making the move to lessen editorials put on the site that will bring them scrutiny, like the ones defending Sweet Baby Inc., and of course this has not sat well with employees at Kotaku, the past or the present. And it's honestly hilarious because these individuals feel like what they say should go. They know what's best for Kotaku. They know what's best for the video game industry when that could not be further from the truth. Here is a post by a current Kotaku staff writer. You know what? F it. Here's a small cup of tea. Management doesn't even care about the quality of the guides. They want us to aggregate them from other sites like a literal content mill. That they're destroying people's livelihoods gags me, and not in a good way. Last thing I'll say is this. Someone at the top told us to just get guides done because of the AV Club watches full seasons of a show and still produces their stories. That alone is proof that they don't understand what we do. I don't think that you understand what you do, because you are supposed to play a video game and write about that video game. Yes, of course, if you were simply covering some news stories like microtransactions and you know, predatory monetization systems or what companies are doing, I don't think that Geo Media would care all that much. But the problem is that you're bringing negative attention to your site in droves by defending companies like Sweet Baby Inc. And then, of course, Nathan Grayson, another individual who, of course, I do not like, actually had posted this. According to a source close to the situation, Kotaku's staff will be expected to create 50 guides a week at the site. Currently, Kotaku's homepage features a prominent game tips and guides module at the top of the page in a space that was previously reserved for major stories and breaking news. Staff members have criticized the homepage redesign on social media, noting that Kotaku's major source of traffic is not guides. So we have Jen Glennon, the editor-in-chief, tweeting that she's resigned, mad Kotaku writers spilling the beans because they have to, put news in the past and write gaming guides. And then, of course, the former Kotaku head, Nathan Grayson, is saying that multiple writers left. He specifies 7 writers left because they simply do not want to write video game guides. I mean, seriously here, cry me a river and float upstream. Video games are what you are supposed to be covering. At the end of the day, it is Geo Media's decision to say, yeah, we want you to do more guides. And obviously, I understand, right, that they are saying that 50 guides a week is crazy. And I personally think that there are plenty of video game guides online, and that is why they are melting down, because there are 100 other sites or 100 other content creators I would go to if I was looking for a guide before I went to Kotaku. It's just as simple as that. And they are already, trying to grasp at relevancy, and this is going to push them over the edge. I do not think Kotaku is long for this world, and I personally think that that's absolutely hilarious, because for years now we've been talking about how irrelevant Kotaku's become, how they are completely out of touch with the audience that they need to read their work. And at the end of the day, all of these activists hate the video game industry, or else they wouldn't be complaining about having to play or cover video games. It is obvious they simply wish they were writing for a Forbes or Bloomberg or a Wall Street Journal and were political commentators, but the best job they could get was at a Kotaku. And it's absolutely hilarious to see this company and several other websites like Polygon, The Gamer, and more imploding. And of course, it'll be interesting to see what else happens over the next few weeks, if any other employees come out and leak any other information, or if we see the next editor-in-chief be named and there be any drama surrounding that. Only time will tell, but it's hilarious to see the collapse of Kotaku. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.